Good day, RGV. Today on Valley por Vida, we've got two very special guests in studio with us. The creators of Lone Star Podcast Studio are in the house, and they're going to be telling us all about how you can share the untold story inside you. Now, we'll also have an all-new Reels ratings and reviews segment of must-see patriotic films, plus a sneak peek at Zoo Nights and Zoo Lights holiday event in Brownsville. Now, there's a lot to talk about, so don't go anywhere. The show starts right now. Hi there, and thanks again for joining us today. I'm your host, Danielle Banda, and we all have a story inside of us, rather. It is the story of our life, and sometimes it can be hard to share that story, but it's really important that we do so. There's actually a famous quote that I love, and it says that there's no greater agony than bearing the untold story inside you, and that is so true. So, two residents from the Rio Grande Valley embarked on a mission to help you share your story with the world. Renee Ree and Edgar Navarro, co-founders of Lone Star Podcast Studio, are here with us in studio to tell us more. Hey guys, what is going on? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for having us. It's always great to share with you.
Thank you so much. Now, we are so excited to talk about Lone Star Podcast Studio. So maybe for those that are just now being introduced, tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah, so Lone Star Podcast Studio is an actual studio we built during the pandemic.
Okay.
To help people tell their story.
Yeah.
I think it's very important especially in that time where we're all enclosed.
Yeah.
That we all be able to tell our stories, and the Valley is rich with stories.
Absolutely.
So we created this under our company is Beyond Media, and the Lone Star Podcast Studio just fit perfect. And right now, we're trying to help as many people tell their stories. So we're here with you, and we're here everywhere telling people, hey, come to the studio, check it out, at least tour it before. Some people are scared to talk, but I think there's a lot of cool stories that we can get. And so we invite everybody to just contact us and maybe reach out and share their story.
Yeah, I love that. Now, you guys, I've filmed with them there. They have a beautiful studio. They make you feel so comfortable, so you can feel confident about sharing your story. So, Renee, maybe tell us a little bit about that. I mean, we do all have something that we want the world to know, or at least, other people here in our community, right?
Sure. So, as Edgar was saying, our company is called Beyond Media, and we do content and we do films and documentaries. But during the pandemic, we started the podcast studio because we couldn't go out there and film.
Yeah.
And the idea is to bring in people that want to tell interesting stories, or people that want to have, even if people want to have conversations with, let's say, we did a podcast with my dad and my nephew. So It's a conversation between a grandfather and his grandson that my nephew can have for the rest of his life.
Wow.
So we're trying to just do stuff like that. We also have podcasts that deal with SpaceX. We have podcasts that deal with bikers. So we have all kinds of different podcasts, and we want to invite people to come check out the studio.
That is beautiful. You can see a little bit of their studio right there. Now, he was mentioning you guys have done some incredible interviews, so maybe give us a couple more sneak peeks of what we can expect, as far as, the kind of stories that we're looking at and listening to.
So we do two things, right? We produce our own podcast, and then we also invite you or anybody to come and do their own podcast. So the ones we're producing, as you mentioned, we have SpaceX people.
Wow.
We have Rodando Contra el Viento, which is in Spanish, and it's about people, motorcycle enthusiasts all over, trying to connect with all people in Latin America. We're starting one about the carne asada culture that is very rich in the Valley, and really trying to explore all these different areas that make us so rich as a culture here, and try to not just tell the story, but to broadcast it out. I think that we have this little thing of SpaceX now, which everybody's paying attention to the Valley.
Yeah.
And now you can come, and we have a place for you where you can tell your own story and show what you're living and what's going through your mind.
That is beautiful. You guys, I'm telling you, we visited their podcast studio. It's absolutely amazing, and they're so friendly and welcoming. So please, you are encouraged here today to go and share your story with them. Renee is amazing to work with. Edgar, you are so creative. You guys, we are so excited to have them here in studio with us. So thank you so much for being here, both of you. We appreciate it.
And we invite you to tour anytime.
Thank you. Awesome. And then you guys, we also have their website. We are beyondmedia.com. So if you'd like to book a segment with them. Thanks again, you guys. And you know what? It is amazing to see Lone Star Podcast Studio helping us share our stories with the world. We appreciate them so much, and we also appreciate our country's heroes. Though we recently honored America's veterans this past month on Veterans Day, it's important to think of them and thank them every day. It's fun to celebrate this great country, not only on Independence Day, but every day. So we thought it'd be fun to highlight some of the best patriotic must-see films in today's Reels, Ratings, and Reviews segment with Nexstar's Dean Richards.
He's a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die. A real life everyone is Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July.
For years, when anyone would ask me my favorite 4th of July movie, I'd bring up the family classic favorite Yankee Doodle Dandy. Now, it's still a classic, but there are a few other movies that also come to mind.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Few scenes rouse the red, white, and blue more than Bill Pullman's inspiring speech as President of the United States in Independence Day. A very different president than number 16.
We're stepped out upon the world stage now, with the fate of human dignity in our hands. Blood's been spilled to afford us this moment now.
Daniel Day-Lewis won his 3rd Academy Award for playing the title role in 2012's Lincoln, set in a time before even the thought of an Air Force One.
Get off my plane.
Harrison Ford played President James Marshall, keeping order in 1997's Air Force One, one of his many iconic roles. For 4th of July musical fun, the Tony, Grammy, and Pulitzer-winning Hamilton, an American musical, is streaming on Disney Plus to honor the Founding Fathers. But that wasn't the first musical about the birth of America. 1776 was a Broadway hit before it became a movie in 1972. But as we celebrate the country today, let's not forget the service and the sacrifice of the men and women of the armed forces that allow us to celebrate. One of the most powerful depictions of them can be seen in the 5-time Oscar-winning Saving Private Ryan. And the contributions of the 1st African-American Infantry Regiment play out in the Civil War drama Glory, starring Morgan Freeman, Matthew Broderick, and Denzel Washington, who won his 1st Academy Award from the film. And one of the great 4th of July scenes of all time celebrates a group of young boys' love for the great American pastime in The Sandlot.
America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned our good. Yes, he did. Heavy brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know.
In Chicago, I'm Dean Richards.
And if these films happen to put or light up your heart rather with love of country, then you'll probably want to get up, get out, and see the world's bright light, which is great because there's an amazing holiday event that'll be very merry and bright happening right here in the Valley. It's something else that is a must-see. After all, it is that time of year again, and the Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville is hosting its annual Zoo Nights and Lights holiday event for you, your friends, the whole family. Now, get this. It's going to be a beautiful sight of over 800 luminaria bags strung along the pathways of the zoo, including more than 135 animal and holiday fixtures, school choirs, and arts and craft show, hot chocolate, and so much more. But you know, telling you about it just isn't as good as showing you, so we went ahead and dropped by their grounds in Brownsville so that you can check it out in today's Zoo's Adventures.
Content segments during Valley Por Vida were paid for by Gladys Porter Zoo.
I'm Alejandra Rodriguez, and I'm the marketing coordinator here at the Gladys Porter Zoo. We're very excited to be able to have Zoo Nights and Lights again this year, and this year we'll actually be having it in 2 weekends instead of 1. And the lights will actually cover the entire length of the zoo. So this year we'll be having our Christmas tree decorating contest again. So zoo staff has broken up into different teams, and they're going to each team is going to decorate their own Christmas tree. So the public will get to vote for their own favorite tree, and that will be announced at a later date. So actually every guest to Zoo Nights and Lights will actually be able to vote for their favorite Christmas tree. So they each get to see and experience each of those beautifully decorated trees, and then they get to choose their favorite. Tickets to Zoo Nights and Lights are actually already available online, so they can be purchased online before attending the event, or they can actually be purchased there at the gate at the entrance. Guests will actually also have the option to receive free admission if they donate a new unwrapped toy to Toys for Tots. The value must be of $5 or more. So every one toy donated is 1 free admission to Zoo Nights and Lights. Zoo Nights and Lights will take place over 2 weekends. That's December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and December 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Be sure to visit their team in Brownsville to be a part of all the holiday fun, and you can give them a call, log on to their website, or visit their social media pages if you'd like more information on the event. And since we're visiting the zoo for a sneak peek at Zoo Nights and Lights, it was so much fun, we thought it'd be so cool to give you some merry and bright facts about holiday lights, courtesy of mentalfloss.com, and an exciting trivia time game. All right, well, according to their website, there are some interesting facts that we maybe didn't know about when it comes to holiday lights. And it's your job to figure out which one of these next statements is not true. All right, so Thomas Edison, the first one, was actually responsible for the first ever holiday light display. He laid 8 miles of underground wire to power strings of lights outside of his New Jersey lab, and it gained so much love and attention. And of course, the second option is about a man in Australia actually holds the record for the most lights on an artificial tree, and people over there call him the Christmas tree man. The third option, blinking lights, interestingly enough, rely on a thermostat in order to make that twinkle go in effect. And lastly, some groups actually are issued fines for lights that are not left up in a certain amount of time. If they're up too long, you could get a fine. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a hard one. All of them seem pretty plausible, so it's tough to try and decipher which one is false, but don't worry. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to ponder over it as we take a quick commercial/weather break, so don't touch that remote. Now, we've got a lot of fun for you coming up along with your trivia time answer, and we'll see you in a bit.